She is upset that I've dragged this out so long. I don't blame her.
It began with a headline, low-key, unobtrusive, buried in the back of a court docket like it was business as usual. Motion to dismiss Faye filed by counsel, Daniel L. Porter, Esquire, on behalf of Janelle Brown. But for some people paying close attention, it wasn't merely an update on legal proceedings. It was a warning sign, a tectonic plate shift. Because Daniel Porter wasn't merely a name on paper, he was Janelle's new husband, and with one filing, he finished Kody's final legal maneuver. The courtroom was hushed as the new attorney arrived, tall, neatly trimmed, with a quiet confidence that caused even the clerk to straighten a little more. No theatrics, no bluster, just accuracy, assurance. Kody had arrived surrounded by Robyn and their legal team. He did not even glance up when Daniel appeared, until he saw who he was. Robyn whispered something, her eyes darting from Daniel to the table of exhibits. And then, it hit him. This wasn't just some hired suit, this was personal. The judge reviewed the motion briefly, then looked over the rim of his glasses. "Counselor, you're requesting a full dismissal of Mr. Brown's petition to modify the asset agreement, citing fraud and misrepresentation. Is that correct?" Daniel nodded once. "That's correct, Your Honor. And we're prepared to submit new evidence under seal that proves our claim, including a timeline of asset transfers that occurred under concealed LLCs, without consent or proper disclosure to the plaintiffs." Kody's lawyer stood abruptly. "Objection. These claims are speculative. They're trying to delay proceedings." But Daniel wasn't rattled. "Your Honor, what is conjecture is Mr. Brown's own loss of memory regarding NFAR Holdings, a shell corporation whose use was to steal money from the family estate and deposit it into a private trust, now for only 2 grown-ups and their kids." The judge frowned. The room shifted again. Janelle, seated behind her new husband, did not smile. She did not have to. Because Daniel had done what no one else had. He used the courtroom like a battlefield Kody couldn't command. No speeches of emotion, no patriarchal theatrics, just hard, cold facts. And for the first time, Kody was shaken. Not enraged, not cocky, just vulnerable. This wasn't supposed to happen. He'd spent decades using contracts, LLCs, and fuzzy family finances to maintain control. But now, the rules were shifting, and Janelle had just played her trump card. The courtroom lights felt harsher now. The murmurs had faded, replaced by an eerie stillness. Like everyone knew something irreversible had just taken place. Daniel Porter adjusted his notes, then spoke again. "One more thing, Your Honor. We're also submitting phone records and financial statements that show direct communication between Mr. Brown and multiple third-party agents, used to restructure family land ownership under misleading pretenses." He glanced at Kody, adding threatening, coercive texts to the plaintiffs, threatening to retaliate financially if they would not transfer their shares of Coyote Pass. Boom, not melodramatic, just irrefutable. The judge sat back, eyes snapping wide awake. Kody's lawyer rummaged through documents, but too late. And then came the knockout. Daniel handed a sealed envelope to the bailiff. Inside are notarized affidavits from former family accountants and a forensic audit team. You'll find asset flowcharts that trace the path of funds directly from the family trust to a private account in Robyn Brown's name. Janelle didn't flinch, but Kody did. A twitch in his jaw, a flicker in his eyes. Robyn leaned closer to whisper again, but this time he pulled away. The judge placed the envelope on the side. "Considering the gravity of these allegations and the testimony we've heard, I will be examining the contents forthwith. We'll resume in 48 hours. Gavel strike. Court dismissed. but the room didn't budge. Kody sat stunned, the burden of years of fiscal manipulations now piling off the table like shattered chessmen. Janelle rose slowly. Daniel extended his hand, not to escort her out, but to walk along with her. She didn't turn around. She didn't need to, because what Kody had perceived as a courtroom loss was something else entirely. It was a woman who had been silenced by control and manipulation, now standing in her full power, not alone, not resentful, just free, and standing next to her, a partner, not a savior, not a puppet, but a man who brought strategy rather than screaming, facts rather than terror. The judge hadn't rendered judgment yet, but the message had been delivered. Janelle was no longer playing defense. She had taken the fight to him, and with Daniel by her side, the game Kody had spent a decade perfecting was finally done.